Hello, welcome back to Show Boys. We're here. Actually, man, this might be the first time that the three of us are on a non-Patreon exclusive episode
Yeah,
together in
yeah.
like 7 months or
Decades.
something ridiculous. But yeah, we're here. We're gonna have a throwback of what's playing episode. Haven't had one of these in ages. We're just gonna talk some gaming news, I think. We're going to catch each other up on games we've been playing over the last several months. Because if you have been listening to Show Boys over the last basically since November, we've been hyper focused covering, having seasons on specific shows. So we haven't really talked about gaming in a very long time outside of Patreon. So I'm excited to have a what's playing episode. I'm excited for Nick and Chad to be here, and it should be a fun time. Chad, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just got back from a baseball game. It's like
Nice.
blistering hot here finally. Been
Oh,
waiting
really?
for what seems like months for this warm weather to get here.
Did it get rained
Nice.
out?
It did not, but the tornado sirens went out.
Yeah, no
off
idea
while
why.
we-
Dude, they went off during the nicest part of the day today. It was so
yeah, it was really bizarre. And I was out there. I was literally out there.
weird. Very delayed. They should have gone off like 4 hours beforehand.
Right.
Like, hey, Ohio, you can't be enjoying this nice weather.
Yeah, that's
We're
it.
gonna
Right.
send the tornado sirens off. Oh, that's great. Nick, you just woke up, but how was
Yeah.
your day?
Day was good. Day was good. Did some worked, then get off work and I was like, oh crap, I need to mow the lawn. It's about to rain for like 2 days and then we'll be gone all weekend. So I had to do that. Then we just had a good time outside enjoying the nice weather, and
Nice.
kids are all playing outside, and neighbor was over and the tornado siren goes off, and they're like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, nothing, there's nothing in the skies.
Either a tornado or we're about to be bombed. I don't know.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. So I should have said to my wife, I was like, not the weather. So an ICBM maybe.
Well, I'm glad that you guys didn't get blown away in a sunny tornado today.
I was thinking about you today. It was like 85 and max humidity. I
Yeah,
was like, this is like
nice.
an
It's
average
like,
spring.
Yeah.
It's like an 8 a.m. Yeah, you told me today you've been wearing like hoodies outside in the warm.
Yeah,
like,
well, I
Nice.
turn the AC up at night, obviously when we sleep, so we're like extra cozy,
Yeah.
on the top floor, so it's not too hot. But I forgot to sometimes I forget to turn it down, right? So then I'm in the basement working, and I'm like, it's like an ice box. So
Yeah.
I come out of my hole every once in a while, and I just have my hoodie on, and it kind of feels nice to like step outside with a hoodie on.
Yeah.
It's like it's warming my body back up from being an icicle.
Yeah, dude.
I usually last like 10 minutes out there like that, and then I'm like, yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's the thing about the weather down here is like obviously it's very hot and humid a lot. But all of the stores are super cold. So like I'm always wearing like a long sleeve shirt or a hoodie
Yeah.
from my house to the car and then the car to the store. And I probably look like an idiot. But dude, as soon as we get in the store and
Yeah.
the rest of my family is like, oh my
Freezing.
gosh, I'm freezing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, who's the idiot now?
Yeah. It's funny because that's exactly how I am. I wear hoodies throughout the
Yeah.
summer. And I always, and it's funny because back in the day, I used to go, there's a Majori's drive-through down the road that I used to go get Red Bulls at. Every morning I would drive there, get 2 Red Bulls, come back. And every morning the old man, who was like 90 at the time, would ask me, he's like, aren't you hot? I'm like, no, dude, I literally just woke up. I rolled out of bed and I'm here to get my Red Bulls. I'm not hot at all.
Yeah, it's not like I ran 2 miles.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
go on, dude.
Well, it's kind of like a warning system too, because like around the 10-minute mark, you're like, oh, I should go back inside before I start sweating in this hoodie. So it's like it's a reminder to go back inside
Yeah.
and to not stay outside. It's like I have a hoodie on, I can't be out here too long.
I like
Yeah.
that. An early warning system.
Warning, outside,
Oh,
back
man,
inside.
that's hilarious. Well, let's start talking about some games. Because I feel like that's what the people are here for. Yeah, have you guys been playing any games lately? I know we've been watching a lot of shows and stuff, but have you guys had time to be playing things? Anyone want to go first? Who wants to go first?
I'm just playing little tiny things, nothing incredible. The only thing that's managed to garner much of my time was, Jedi Survivor for the Patreon series.
Yeah.
Which is worth everyone's time. The game is
I'm having so much fun with that game.
fantastic
Yeah.
game. My sidetrack time is just so awesome because, dude, like the depths of just like Kobo are like ridiculous. Like I got the achievement for like completing one of the like little caverns. And it's just like you keep like knocking down new areas, and I love how the map hides in plain sight like an entire new area. So I was just having too much fun, especially as you start learning all of the things to like delve. It's just so fun. They did a really good job making that game to an nth degree more exploratory than the first one.
Yeah, I had on Patreon we've broken it down into 6 chapters, and we've been covering it over the last several months. And we'll be recording we're on chapter 5, right? Yeah, so we just finished up chapter 5, and we'll be recording that Patreon episode, I don't know, before the month's over. But man, I had so much fun in this chapter, and like I was very like sad that it was over. I was like, dang it, so close. I just want to finish it. Yeah, dang it. Yeah, man. I've been having so much fun, and it was like a perfect game to play alongside watching Andor. Like we were, it just like I lived one of the Chad like content bubbles for maybe the first time ever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it was really cool. It was awesome. Yeah, Chad, what have you been playing lately?
So I have been playing literally one game since the Inspector course, which was like earlier on in the year. March, yeah. I've been playing Shadows exclusively, besides Survivor, obviously. So I'm gonna kind of intermix, because that's been the only game I've been playing. I'm gonna kind of intermix like some gaming news and some stuff that got announced that I'm excited for.
Yeah, because we just had Summer Game Fest last week.
We did. We had a lot of, a lot of announcements that I'm excited for. I know that Mike and I are going to play one of these games when it comes out in September. For sure. Yes. It has to happen.
Yes, very much so.
But yeah, so Shadows. Oh man, I really don't even know where to start with Shadows. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me, unfortunately. I want to love this game so much more than I do. And I think that what is really holding it back, and I hate to be the guy that says it, it's the characters that you play as are holding you back. And it's sad that I have to be the one to say it, because I was defending it when this game came out. But it's almost immersion breaking to be playing as Yasuke in this game, because he is a giant compared to the people that you're fighting. He's massive. So I spent it's so weird feeling. Now, don't get me wrong. He is like the classic brute samurai character. He's fun to play as. It just looks weird. You know, you're just like manhandling all these what look like midgets on the screen. So I've spent a great deal of my time playing as Naue, and Naue, without question, is the best controlling Assassin's Creed character that I've ever played as. I can't think of anyone that even comes close, to be honest with you. She's fun. Her parkour is awesome. I mean, she's like, I saw a thing on Facebook that's like a picture of her, and it's like, are you going to do a front flip? Don't do a front flip. She does a front flip off of everything, or like a Mick twist off of everything. It's so cool, dude. Yeah. But the reason that it's a mixed bag for me is that the world itself is incredible. It is gorgeous. It feels like Japan.
Oh, nice.
It feel, you know, and I feel like kind of that's where Tsushima lacks a little bit because it's so early in the samurai's, you know,
Well, it's just an island too.
and it's just an island and there's not a lot going on there. This feels like Japan. This feels like feudal Japan. And there are parts in this game, and this is coming from someone who took, you know, 900 screenshots in Ghost of Tsushima. I think that world's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. This world is stunning in almost every location. It did get a little bit of a boost. I got a PS5 Pro. It got a pretty massive boost on the Pro. But the reason it's a mixed bag is because you want to I want to love this game like I do Tsushima. If this game had a Jin style character, it would be a solid 10 for me, 100%. And it's not to say that I don't like playing as Naoe, because I do, but every now and then you want that samurai vibe in feudal Japan, you know what I mean? And Yasuke is the only way you get that. Now, the problem with the world is it seems like they almost built this stupid, beautiful world, and they spent all their resources building this stupid, beautiful world and kind of forgot to put really anything that's fun to do in it at all.
Oh no.
And it's just it falls into like the classic Ubisoft checklist. Like here's
like
some enemy
empty.
I think Tsushima's not empty compared to this one. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I think this one. The problem
Not
is
that Tsushima was empty. Tsushima was just really good at crafting locations, like large, like locations that were just quintessential to the experience. But like there was like, but once you moved outside of there, you just like had to go to the next location. It was kind of empty. But I can see an Assassin's Creed game that is even more sprawling become slightly more empty.
And the thing about it is that it feels weird to say because there is a massive amount of stuff to do in this game. But when you boil it down, it's really like 5 or 6 things. There's like a couple of collectibles you can go after. There's some shrines that you can go after. There's a kind of like meditation thing for Naoe. And then enemy camps, and they're all over the place. I mean, there's tons of all this stuff, but it's only like 5 or 6 things you're doing on repeat. Now, the camps are awesome because they are big, massive feudal Japanese castles that you're taking down. So those, I know a lot of people are getting bored with them. I haven't gotten bored with them at all because,
well, Assassin's Creed games always fall into that pitfall. I mean, people, you know, you can say the same thing about Origins and, you know, all the other big open world Assassin's Creed games, but I love clearing Roman forts and Origins. Like, it doesn't really get old. I mean, how does it compare to Origins? I mean, improved in every way, or obviously it sounds like the character embodiment is missing. Like Origins was just, Bayek was just perfect. I
mean, Origins has a better story, and I don't think that Assassin's Creed games by anyone's money have these stellar stories. I don't really think that's even what Assassin's Creed is about. At least the modern ones, maybe the older ones had better stories, but the modern open world RPGs, they're not really, you're not there for the story. You're there for the big open world and the period piece of it all, right? And I think that Shadows falls into that really hard because, to be honest with you, I put like 124 hours, I think, into this game so far. My little percentage says 60% as of today. I'm through the main story. Now I should preface this by saying that I really meander around in these games because I just like existing in this world, you know? But I can't even really tell you what the hell the story's even about. And it's because of the way that it's all set up. It's set up like it's almost set up like an old school Mega Man game where you're given these 2 characters and then you're giving a list of bad guys to go kill, and you can go kill them in whatever order you want to go kill them in. but that leaves a lot to be desired story-wise because it's hard, and you can't fault. I mean, you can fault Ubisoft for the way they designed the game, but you can't fault them for having difficulty telling a story in this style because they don't know who you're going after first. You know, so they're almost like they're almost like the side stories in Tsushima, like the blue icons in Tsushima. That's what every mission in this game feels like. Every main mission that I've played, like it's a self-contained story about this one bad guy that you're going after. But that being said, the combat's fun, dude. And I hate Odyssey's combat. I think Odyssey's combat is like one of the worst open world combat systems that I've ever played.
It's so loose.
It's so loose, and it just feels like World of Warcraft at times. Like you're just not hitting anything. You're hitting numbers, right?
Odyssey's like God of War original, like trilogy. It's just a beat 'em up.
Dude, I'm tripping because I thought Nick said something about it raining super hard, but it was you. You're in Florida, and it is like it sounds like the tornado that they warned us about earlier is coming through right now. 4 hours later.
Through for you guys or through my microphone?
No,
through
here. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, dude. I don't know if you could. Probably can't hear it through the microphone, but dude, it's just like raining so freaking hard.
Yeah. Yep.
I can like hear it through my headphones. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
So yeah, Odyssey's I love Odyssey's combat. Odyssey's got another stupid, beautiful world. Like I'm a sucker for deserts. So any desert game I love.
Origins.
Or I'm sorry, Origins. Yeah. What I say, Odyssey. It is definitely better it might be better than all three of them, to be honest with you, as a whole package.
Mm-hmm.
If you can separate yourself, and I have kind of done that. So this is like how my mind works. Okay. So I was not vibing with the characters in the beginning. I love playing as Naoe, but she's like the ninja character, right? So if you get into like a scuffle with her where there's more than 3 people, you're dead. I mean, she can't fight very well until much later in the game when you level her up. Yasuke is the exact opposite. He has no parkour, so you can't really even explore with this guy because he can't climb anything. His stealth is virtually non-existent because he's ginormous, but he's a absolute brute, and he tears through the camps like they're nothing. And there's a lot of good systems that I love in this game, and the castle system. So there's a castle, like your classic take down the castle setup. You have however many daisho that you have to take out. So we'll say like 4 daisho, and those are like the mini bosses, if you will. And then you have a bunch of other enemies, and they're all kind of sectioned off, and they all have alert bells. So if you break stealth and they see you, they can run up that alert bell, ring the bell, and then like probably 4 ginormous mini bosses come in to try and kill you called guardians. And I love that setup because it gives you a little bit of stakes. And if you're like Naoe, you're not fighting all those 6 guys off, or 4 guys off. You're gonna have to bolt. So I love the parallel that they have going between the 2 characters and how different they feel.
Can you switch between them like Grand Theft Auto?
You can, yeah. You can
Nice.
You can switch
That's
between them at any moment.
That is cool that both characters have such a distinct like play style and movement and like feel, because there's nothing worse than when you have multiple playable characters but they all feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. That's what it does really, really well. Yasuke's armor in the game absolutely sucks. Every piece that I've ever gotten, it's just trash. So I think that takes me away from it. I love dressing my little Barbie dolls up. So that kind of takes me away from playing with him, whereas Naoe's armor is awesome. But the Yasuke, so there's different weapons for each character. So Yasuke has the katana, a spear, and then like a cannonbow, I think is how you say it. It's like basically a ginormous fat baseball bat is how I would describe it. And a bow and a gun. So those are his weapons. The Naoe has a Kusarigama, the little sickle with the ball on the end.
Yeah.
Tanto, which is like a shorter katana and then just the regular katana. And as of right now, am I missing one? As of right now, that's all that she has. She's getting something in the DLC. But once I swapped Yasuke over to the spear and stopped using the katana, it felt like a brand new game because now it plays radically different because you have this long katana or this long spear that you're working with. So I have played quite a bit with him since I made the switch to that new weapon.
I mean, I always loved the spear and shield and Origins with Bayek. Like that was always just
so fun. Yeah,
play style.
Yeah, I think that's probably the weapon I use the most in that game. But yeah, once I swapped over, and I kind of, here's how my brain works, okay? I was not vibing with the characters, but I was really vibing with the world and the way everything was set up. So I was like, I'm just going to tell myself, so there's a character in Sekiro called Lady Butterfly, and she's a female ninja. I was like, I'm just going to tell myself that this is like her origin story. Naoe, this is Lady Butterfly. Yasuke, if I put all his samurai armor on, he's going to be one of those generals from Sekiro that you play as, the spear general. So I was like, if I just tell myself it's like their origin story, and it actually worked pretty well because I played. I mean, I'm digging the characters now, but why I was not vibing with them, and it sucks because I was like defending it, like I don't want to say violently defending it, but I was defending it when it came out because everybody I talked to was like, dude, I hate the characters. I'm like, you just got to give it a chance, man. But then it started to like eat away at me too. I was like, if this was Jin instead of Yasuke, this game would be my #1 samurai game of all time.
But that's why I miss the good old days of like 2010 World of Warcraft, where you can just be whoever you want to be and
create your character,
racist against the ones you hate.
Yeah. It's it's just
damn blood elves in Orgrimmar. What the heck?
Yeah. Maybe there's a correlation between World of Warcraft and the downfall of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Probably like the success of each expansion, correlates with society somehow.
Yep.
So
I hate to crap all over Yasuke because I know that my problem really isn't Yasuke. That's not the problem that I have.
Title this
video. Yeah. So that's not the problem I have. It's just it feels like almost a slap in the face from Ubisoft to its fans by making them wait 20 some odd years to do a game in feudal Japan and not giving us a Japanese male character. It just seems like, and the other part of it is Yasuke is the only real character you've ever played as in Assassin's Creed. So not only did they change two things, it might be the only game where one of the main characters is not from where you're at in the game. I can't think. You might be better, Nick, at the older games, but I'm pretty sure that every main character is part of that society. So he's the only one.
Well, they're all pretty local. And like 3, like you're a Native American like boy who grows up and becomes an assassin. All of them. The only one is Basim. He's in the Viking one. But he's from like Baghdad.
Yeah.
Where
but you're not playing as him. You're not playing as him in Valhalla.
I thought you were, or is he just in Valhalla? I haven't played Valhalla.
He's just in Valhalla.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to love here. I think that this game is definitely worth a playthrough, especially now a lot of the kinks have been worked out. They're working more and more every day. I mean, they're cranking out patches for this game, which you love to see.
That's exciting.
But yeah, it just feels like when you're in that world, it feels like feudal Japan. And that's kind of my problem with Tsushima, where it just doesn't. And I don't know if it's because in Tsushima, you're fighting Mongols. So it's like you're fighting a different society. You're not fighting samurai for a majority of the game. This, you're fighting samurai, you're fighting ninjas, it feels like truly Japanese. And then again, dude, just stunning location. I mean, absolutely stunning locations. And I am reading, I think I have that. So I'm reading Musashi right now, which is a samurai book.
Whoa.
And one of the most popular samurai books ever that I've tried to get through multiple times, but it's a slog, bro. It's a 1,000-page Bible print slog. And
It's some small text.
it's very small. Yeah, dude, it's very small and 1,000-page. But I'm cranking through it now. And the reason I'm cranking through it is because a lot of the locations in the book are actually in the game. So these locations that they're talking about in this book that was written in the whatever 70s or whenever this was written are locations that are actually in the game that I've been to, the castles I've been to, the prefectures I've been to. So it's just, it kind of grounds it and helps me get through the book where,
I mean, they did side by sides from like the trailers and stuff of Shadow's locations to like the real like world historical locations. Like Ubisoft, if they do one thing right, is like matching historical context with at least the world, right? Like the world, they just basically recreate a period piece sandbox, and then you just kind of run around. I can't wait for a year from now its release, whenever that is, and like it's all patched up and like they add Jin in there, and I'm just gonna love that game.
Yeah. That, you know, I'm like, there's a part of me
in the
DLC. There's a part of me in the back of my head that is hoping that they add a male Japanese character into this game. I don't think that's ever going to happen, if I'm being honest with you, but that would take that game maybe even above Ghost of Tsushima to me, just because it feels so distinctly. If you ever watched a samurai movie, that's what it looks like. You know what I mean? If you've ever watched any the documentary on Netflix, I think you watched it, Nick, Age of Samurai.
I started it. Yeah.
That is kind of the prequel to this game. So that's everything that led up to what it kind of where you start out at the beginning of the game. But yeah, I mean, it's been a fun ride. I put 125 hours into it, so I can't say that I hate it, right? I mean, I can't say that I hate it.
Yeah, it is just it's very odd that you can't cosplay as like a male samurai in that time period, because I mean, in all the other ones, like even through I guess like armors and stuff, you can basically like in Origins, you can kind of pretend you're like a Roman if you get all the right gear.
And
but even like Ezio, like he's iconic because like he was just like Italian as it gets, like just running around Italy, like doing that kind of stuff, and just like the original game, like it's just
times he said meatballs was crazy.
Yeah, right. Just you just feel like you belong there, and but like that's the thing about that character is like the thing that makes that character so intriguing that they added to the game is that, you know, what was always so intriguing about that tale was he completely does not belong there. Like that was the point of that story. So I get why they did it, but it's just like it's just a heck of a time to choose to do that. Because we're in like this very peakish like Japan samurai gaming era here, and there's like, you know what, we're gonna do something different for once.
It's just that's my big hang up. That's my big hang up, is it feels like, I said, it feels like a slap in the face
doing that, you know.
You can't. And you know, there's dispute on Yasuke as a historical figure in general. Like they're trying to sell him as like a samurai in this game, and there's dispute that even really ever happened. So, but the way I think they get around that is the beginning of the game certainly happened in Yasuke's real life. Okay. He really was taken under the wing of a major player in Japan. And then that major player died and he kind of disappeared and was never heard from again. So that's kind of where we're at in the game, is this moment of disappeared and never heard from again. So it's cool. You know, Assassin's Creed will always be historical fiction. It has always been historical fiction, you know, every single one of them. So for people to argue the historical side of it, I don't get their argument on that. It's just maybe it's a weeb side of me that just wants to be a you know what I mean? That's just it. It's like, if you think samurai in your head right now and close your eyes, you're not picturing Yasuke.
Draymond Green, like running around the samurai armor.
but
Shaq with a katana.
Just like
I mean,
meat
that's what it
bucket,
is.
just
Yeah.
like that angry face he has all the time.
It's
And
so
then
funny,
that's the
dude.
reason that I picked in my mind the freaking spear mini boss from Sekiro,
Yeah.
because that dude is huge in the game. So I'm like, I can vibe with it. That's just like an origin story of the 7 spears character in Sekiro. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think Nick, you should definitely pick it up on a sale. I think it's well worth playing through. Combat is much better than Valhalla. It's probably the best combat system in any of the mainline
modern
open world ones.
Yeah. I have Mirage. I need to fire that up. Probably here after Origins. I might go on a Assassin's Creed catch up because I got a bunch of them.
I was
I'm mad
kind of
about
thinking
Black
that.
Flag on sale in December because now they're talking about a remake.
I played Black Flag maybe like halfway through, and then I think I tried to pick because they remastered it, right? So I think I tried to
No.
pick it back. Oh, they never remastered
They're
it.
talking. I think they're going to though now.
Okay, I might be able to get behind that because that's and that's before Origins, right? So that's like kind of the older style games.
that was it's 4 basically. It's after 3. Pretty sure it's basically the 4th one. If it doesn't have the numeral on it, it's basically the 4th.
Nice. Yeah. I think that
shanties.
I think the cultural team at Ubisoft that was tasked with developing these locations and making them feel true to their real life counterparts deserve a standing ovation. I think they did a great job. Again, storytelling is just meh to me, really. And it sucks, dude, because like the thing that I have a problem with in Tsushima is like kind of when you finish the game, there's really nothing else to do besides walk around and kill enemies that you randomly encounter. Every single hideout in this game has contracts attached to them. So you can do these contracts like infinitely, go to these camps, kill these enemies, do whatever it. So it could have been the long haul samurai game for me to play forever if it just had the right characters in it, You
hear something crazy?
I do.
I actually played a samurai game.
Did you?
Myself. Yeah, so excuse me. I was a guest on Play Along podcast, which you guys probably know of. Jared in our Discord, very active. He did Pokeboys with me. He's been on a few episodes. I think he was on the last March Madness we did for representing Nintendo. His podcast, they have a monthly like bonus series called Get Wrecked. And what they do is each
good series for you to be on.
It actually is it's super fun. It's my second time being on it. It's always fun time being with them. But this time I was with Ben, one of the other hosts. And what happens is each person on the pod recommends a game from the other person's backlog to play, and then they like talk about it. Most of the time it works out that like, I would recommend one of them play a game that I've already played that's on their backlog so I can like actually talk about it,
Yeah.
With them. And then they do the same thing. And he chose Trek to Yomi for me. And it was actually really cool. Like I want you to play it. And both of you, I think, should play it. You can get it on CD keys for like.
I actually own it. I played a little bit of it.
Okay.
When it launched.
Yeah. So I want you to play it, but I'm not like it might take you a bit to like get into it because it's not like a classic sword fight game, like samurai like sword play stuff. But yeah, you guys, anyone who's interested in like my super detailed thoughts about Trek to Yomi, you can go listen to that episode because I talk about it pretty in depth. But dude, it has such a cool vibe because you mentioned like a samurai playing a samurai movie. That's literally Trek to Yomi. It's like super cinematic. It's black and white, has like the film grain like filter over everything. It kind of has like the Resident Evil fixed camera as you're, making your way through each of the levels. There is like some obviously sword fighting and stuff. I wasn't like the biggest fan of that, but the story itself was really cool, and the way that they just, I don't know how to describe it other than like it literally felt like I was playing a samurai movie.
Yeah.
It's like it was the coolest thing ever. It's not a super long game either. There's multiple endings you can get, so you can play through it a couple different times. But yeah, dude, if you already have it, Chad, you should give it a try. Nick, you can probably get it on CD keys for like, I don't know, $2 or something. Definitely worth, if you're in a samurai kick, definitely worth spending like maybe, I think it's like 10 hours or so to play it.
Yeah.
It's like super interesting. But yeah, I actually played a samurai game.
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of,
awesome.
technically.
I need to get back to it because I played it. I think I played it like right before Rise of the Ronin came out. So that Rise of the Ronin came out, and I just kind of trailed off of it. But I did. I was enjoying it, and it did. So Tsushima has that filter where you can put on
Oh,
black
really?
and white, like exactly like that. It's called the Kurosawa filter on Tsushima,
So
which
cool.
was the guy that made the old samurai, like the most
That's
popular
awesome.
samurai movies. But I can never bring myself to play it like that because the game is just so freaking good.
Yeah.
But I'm
Still
planning on
waiting for
playing.
for Chad's Ghost of Tsushima coffee table book.
Yeah, I need. Yeah, it has to happen. Has to happen.
I remember turning that on for a little bit, and then I would turn it on when I was clearing areas later that like I already knew, when I was
Yeah.
just like in perma walk mode.
Yep.
and just like intentionally dueling everybody just all the time.
That game's been on my wish list for a while. I need to suck
You
up.
really-
and
It's hard
buy
to catch it on
Tsushima.
sale, but
Yeah.
it does go on sale like half off, I think, once
Yeah.
a year.
So it's funny you say that because I just bought Sekiro today on sale because you have my Sekiro.
Yeah, I just
which
found it.
To be honest with you, you can keep because the PS5 Pro does not have a disc drive. So
My gosh.
Oh,
I
you couldn't
have
play
no
it.
need for it. So
Yeah.
it's hard to find Sekiro on sale. Sekiro's still $60. The game came out in like 2019.
It that one goes on sale like semi-frequently on Steam, but the lowest it'll go is 50% off.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
got it for. So I was like, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna buy it because I'm eventually gonna want to play it again.
Yeah.
Nick just
Nick
stole
just
your game.
stole my game from me.
Your old
Nick,
copy.
have you actually been playing anything else?
It's a mixed bag. So my 5-year-old really ever, I don't know, since sometime last year, but he's been really into Harry Potter to a really like awesome degree. But he's been playing, and I help him, and like we'll sit there and play through it. But he's really autonomous at this point at it. But the Harry Potter Lego Harry Potter collection, so like all the
Nice.
games, and he's on the 5 or 5, 6, 7, movies 5, 6, and 7. So the second game, which is further than he's watched in the movies because he hasn't been able to finish the fourth movie because that's when Voldemort gets born out of a cauldron, and that's pretty pretty intense for young eyes. But so he's beyond where he's watching the movie, but he's been playing that pretty adamantly. He asks as much as he can, and we're trying to like temper that itch a little bit, which is a challenge. But yeah, he's great at it, and he loves playing those games, and it's fun. I never played those ones. I've played a lot of like Lego Star Wars and other ones, but never sat down and played those ones, and they're always just so fun to smash through. Good puzzles too, and that's the other reason I like them for kids too. They're just real puzzly too.
Yeah, that's
so
funny.
Definitely a big dash of that as he just kind of grinds through that, and I kind of try to. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, do any of your kids show like signs of being like completionist gamers for like the gamer temperament. I'm trying to figure out if he's a completionist or not. It depends. Like right now, he's just so infatuated with the story and just moving on to like the next thing. Um, but he does get the idea of like collecting all the things he's starting to. But I don't know. I'll see when he finishes the story if it's like, all right, now you have to go back and you only have half of the gold bricks. You got to find all of the gold bricks and do all the things.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So like the 10-year-old is like not really into games, but like she'll have fun playing them if we're playing them, but it's not like she comes up every day like, hey, can I play the Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
7-year-old on the other hand
Yeah.
is very into
Your
games.
mini you versus
Yeah,
the mini
always.
Peck.
Yeah, exactly. She's always asking to play. However, she's pretty terrible.
Oh no.
And like neither of them are like into I wouldn't say they're the completionist side. We're the three of us are playing through Mario Wonder right now, like together, which has been super fun. I always play as Yoshi, and what happens is the 7-year-old, most of the time, if she's not like killing us all because she's not paying attention and just like plowing through the level, and me and the 10-year-old are like falling off platforms and like dying and stuff. She'll just like, people can ride Yoshi, so she'll just like jump on my back and just be sitting on the couch as I'm going through the level. Like, dude, I thought you wanted to play this with
Yeah.
me.
No, you're just gonna play.
Yeah,
it.
dude. But dude, that's been a blast and hilarious, but then also at times super frustrating because I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you guys are killing us all.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine the boys are pretty.
Yeah, so Brady definitely has shown tendencies on that because he's gotten the platinum on all three Spider-Man games: Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2. Roman is definitely like that too, especially with Zelda. Both Zelda games, he was like fully doing everything, finding every outfit, doing every possible thing you can do. But even other games like and this always cracks people up that know the game. He's really into Hollow Knight, which is like a really difficult side scroller. And he's gotten every ending that you can get on that, and he fights the ending boss all the time. So yeah, he's definitely like that. So yeah, I would say both my kids are trend in the completionist direction.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, so that's been fun to watch him play, but then it's also funny
awesome.
when he's just like stuck and like I just like enter the room, I sit down, I'm like, oh duh, why didn't you figure this out? Like it's this easy.
Yeah,
dude. At first, when you said he's really into Harry Potter and playing it autonomously, I was like, dude, how is he playing Hogwarts Legacy?
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, is there any plan to kind of motion him over to that game?
Well, so I mean, he probably started watching the movies when he was 4 something, so like last year, and that's also when I got Legacy, and he would watch me play that for the longest time, and he actually would attempt to play it. So like, I mean, he turned 5 in April, and I would say his skill in playing games has definitely increased a lot. The dual joystick thing is beyond him still.
Yeah.
And that's required for things like Legacy. So like when he was 4, he would attempt to play Legacy. He would be able to get on the broom and fly around kind of. Nothing like particular. And same thing, he would watch me and eventually want to play Horizon, which is incredibly difficult to do anything because like he could kind of walk around, but then he would also want to like use the bow, and then like that you're talking like you need at least 4 fingers to use the bow like at all in that game. And every time I pick up that game and I start playing, I'm like, man, you really got to like use a lot of buttons to like do anything in this game, especially when I was trying to like figure out what he could do. I'm like I'm like, you just can't, man. You gotta have both your thumbs engaged, couple fingers here.
That's funny.
So that it's
Eventually.
funny that you say that because my wife has problems with the dual analog stick thing too. So she tried to play a Hogwarts Legacy, and she's one of the people where their brain just works inverted. So she has to put the inverted controls on. And is that you?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Only vertical. I can't. Like you're
Yeah.
an animal
That's
if you're inverted horizontally. It's like
Horizontally,
something's wrong
yeah.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. There's it's like a small percentage of people that just have to play. It's like 10% of people have to play inverted like that.
Dude, I look like a 5-year-old if I'm playing like not inverted.
Looking at the ceiling, looking down at the floor, spinning around. Yeah.
Like I swear I've been playing games for like 30 years. I know what I'm doing, but I just can't do it.
I forget back in the PS2 PlayStation 2 gaming days, I would go back and forth in terms of when I would actually in games. Mostly when there's games that had mixed, like had flying, but then also not. So like, like I remember Battlefield, I would invert my flight controls.
Have to. That's how I am. Yeah.
I would not invert my first person shooter controls. Like that's just dumb. But like,
rude.
if you're flying, but the other thing that's been interesting to observe that isn't as cool, because it's like an expensive thing that I need to somehow figure out and correct, is I've had my PlayStation 5 for like, I don't know, 5 years whenever I got it. And I had the same white controller that came with it. Never had a single thing wrong with it. And then my wife bought a second controller for last year for my birthday. And miraculously, both of them, the left Joy-Con just drifts very hard to the left.
Both?
I've been able to nurse my OG controller back to like health, but the new one is completely shot, and that's the one that I let my wife and son use. So, and I like, I'm at the point with the new one where I just like violently like press, pull, like just violently abuse the Joy-Con to figure it out. And then I figured it out. I was like, I have to like twist it like physically in the socket. Not that it moves much, but like twisting it is the only way to like get it from not doing that. So I don't know if he is like, because he will like finger pinch it to like use it still, right? That's why I just know he's not ready for like actually playing those games. So I don't know if he's like twisting the Joy-Con by accident, like the way he's grabbing it and like using it. So there might be some education and like helping him like just move it. Don't, it's not a stick.
So I remember you texted me about it.
Because it was bugging me out because both of them were doing it. I was like, why are my controllers miraculously just started breaking? I've never had Joy-Con issues in my life.
Yeah, so the Switch controllers are horrendous with stick drift. I mean, awful. We've replaced multiple Joy-Cons. But I have replaced quite a few PS5 controllers because of stick drift as well. I don't think it's a thing that they can fix, or they'd fix it clearly. But the story I did want to tell was, so my son has a MetaQuest 2, and he plays the crap out of it. Roman, the younger one. His right controller started getting really bad stick drift, and it was like causing a lot of problems. I looked up.
Have you ever encountered the right one having the issue?
Yeah. So I looked up how to fix it, and you can actually swap. And I told you this, you can swap at least on the MetaQuest. I imagine if you would have seen what I had to do to swap this freaking joystick on this controller, it was well beyond my expertise to do this thing. Like, it was intense. Like, I was like in there tinkering with like magnifying glasses, trying to get like things. It was awful, dude. I will never do it again. I'll just buy another one.
I pick up the I don't know, the DualSense, man. Like, I pick that thing up. I'm like, dude, this thing's built like an iPhone. Like, I have no idea how to open this. Like, I feel like I'm gonna break it if I try to do anything. But like, why has it got to be the left one? The left one's like even the menu like mover. I'm like, this is the worst one. It does the most things.
I think that's probably why it wears out faster, because you're using it for
Yeah.
pretty much everything that you're doing in the game. But yeah, I never really thought about that. Now that I think about the PS5 controller, there's no like screws on it or
No.
anything.
I think it's airtight.
So it might be just as difficult as that MetaQuest. Dude, there was a part in the MetaQuest swapping the cables out where there's a ribbon cable that you have to disconnect. And it is like clear in the back of the controller. So you're in there, you can't even see what you're doing. You're just like, he's like, yeah, just stick it in there and flip it up. And I'm like, dude, it took me like 45 minutes to get this thing flipped up. And that was like 50% of the way through. Now I have to take it out, put the new one in, and somehow get in there and re-clip it. Dude, it was a nightmare. I'll never do it again. Absolute nightmare.
Speaking of wires and controllers, we're over at the neighbor's house and they had the N64 controllers out, and my almost 2-year-old like picks one up and he's like trying to yank the cable out of it because he's like confused because he's used to, I guess, mine. And
Yeah,
it's like, why is there a cable in this?
that's funny.
It's not
hilarious.
charging. I want to use it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I will stand by the fact that is the worst controller ever made. The N64 controller. That is like the start of Nintendo's really bizarre decisions that they make. That's the origin story of it. Yep. Yeah, dude.
So so far this year, I have beaten 13 games.
That's incredible.
Which I'm pretty proud of.
It's pretty good. Over one a month, man. You're gonna be able to do like 2 a month by the end of the year.
I'm trying. I've hit
you might be killing me actually. I don't know if I've completed anything this year, to be honest.
I had one in January, and then February was a big month. Let's count.
Granted, they're all like 2-hour like indie games.
Yeah.
5 in February.
Bollocks.
4 in March, 2 in April, nothing in May though. That was big bummer. And then so far only Pokeboys season 7 will be for June. But yeah, just Rune King League of Legends story, Pokemon Heart Gold for Pokeboys, a game called Ruiner, which is like an isometric twin stick shooter, which was cyberpunky, kind of cool. Greek Memories of Azure, like I don't know, Zelda knockoff kind of Xbox game, and Pokemon Unbound for season 7 of Pokeboys this month. But 2 things. One, we fired up the Showboys Game Club in April. And I've mentioned it a couple times, but a quick recap. Everyone who's a part of the game club in our Discord suggests a game from their backlog. I throw it into the wheel spinner, give it a spin. Whatever game is selected, whoever wants to participate will play through the game for that month. At the end of the month, anyone who wants to participate will send me an audio recording of their review of their time in the game. I'll slap it together for a bonus podcast episode and put it out on our audio platforms. April, we did Shadow of Mordor, which was pretty cool. It's a game I wanted to play for a long time. Finally did it, played it mostly on the Steam Deck. It was a decent experience on the Steam Deck. May's game was not a backlog game, but Claire Obscure Expedition 33 came out, and Civ at his game won in May, and he was like, hey, would anybody be opposed if I switch to this game? Everyone was all for it, so we jumped in, and holy cow, dude, Chad, you must play this game as soon as possible. It is so good. I haven't beaten it yet because it's big, it's deep, lots of stuff going on. I'm at the, I think, first third of Act 2. I don't even know how many total acts there are, but dude, the story is very interesting. The world is like, I can't even describe it. It's like French apocalyptic, like almost
overwhelmingly
punky. Yeah, like and the way they deliver the story is in a style that we haven't gotten, or at least I feel like we haven't gotten in a long time, like a throwback to the old days where they didn't like dump a massive story exposition on you in the very beginning of the game that explains every single thing that's going on. They just kind of throw you in this world in the middle of this event that makes absolutely no sense, and you're just like walking around talking to people, like trying to learn what's happening, and the story just goes from there, and you get, you know, little nuggets revealed as you progress, and it's just like a really it's a great way to tell a story when, you know, the person consuming the story is actually like participating in it and not just like a passive consumer like we've talked about before. So I still really don't have any idea what's going on, and it's very hard to even begin to explain the story because it's like I don't know what's going on exactly.
Yeah.
But like the combat is super cool. It's you know, I would imagine it's kind of like having not really played the Persona games, but that style of like turn-based combat.
Yeah, it looks very similar. Yeah.
However, I don't. Maybe Persona does this. This is the first game like this I've ever played, but it's probably not the first that's ever done this. But you can dodge and parry incoming attacks. So like having the turn-based mechanic, but then also like you have to actually like pay attention and like try to time dodges and parries. Just adds like a nice new flavor to that style of game that I've not experienced before, which makes it super fun. And it's like there are so many great like YouTube shorts and stuff out there about trying to time your dodge and parry, and like just how like absurd it is to time with some of the attack animations. They're hilarious. If you've seen them and played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but they're like so true. But yeah, man, I'm just like finding myself like being wrapped up in this game in a way that I haven't been in a game in a very long time, where like I'm taking my time, like exploring every possible area I can get into, like talking to every possible character that has dialogue, like really just savoring every nook and cranny of this world. And I'm playing it right now mostly on the Steam Deck, which it kind of doesn't run as great as it does on PC. But it's like still fine, but graphically it doesn't look as great as it does on PC. But dude, it's just so fun, and I really want to hear your thoughts whenever you finally get around to playing it. You got to play it this year though, because I feel like
I'm definitely gonna get to it, because it just like I know we talked about it before. It just like came out of the blue, dude. Like I'd never heard of that game until everybody was talking about how great it was.
Yeah,
so,
and it's
definitely
wild
on my list.
Yeah, it's been in development for a super long time apparently, and then but yeah, like I'd never heard a single peep about this stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
it's got a real goofy name. Yeah,
I would definitely recommend it for you too, Nick, but I don't know like
it's on my wish
how
list.
into is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it on?
You play on the Steam Deck?
Yeah, it's definitely playable. Some of the
looks
attack
like a PS5 game though to me.
Yeah, I would probably recommend, you know, if it's available on PlayStation, like I would go that route. Because like the Steam Deck, it works fine. It's fine. But like the timing of some of the attack animations, because the attacks are also active where like you got to like push a button when the meter gets into a certain zone, so you know your attacks are more effective, or you have a higher chance of crit or whatever. And timing the dodging and parrying is kind of like a microsecond delayed from when I play it on PC. So like if I play a little bit on PC and then switch to the Steam Deck, I'm getting wrecked for like the first
you got
30 minutes until I adjust to that. But it's definitely playable, and I've played most of it on the Steam Deck just because that's easier for me to like pick up instead of sit down at the computer and put a lot of time into it. But yeah, man, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I don't know, that if I'm able to beat it, because I do kind of struggle sometimes lately with just longer games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely up there with Survivor for Game of the Year contender for me so far.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You got a little tidbit of news for us, Chad?
Yeah, I just want to, 'cause I've only really been playing Shadows. I haven't played it yet, but I did download that Game of Thrones mobile game yesterday. It's supposed to be, I mean, it looks awesome. So it's like an open world explore Westeros RPG, but it's mobile, unfortunately. And I haven't played a mobile game in probably 15 years. So I downloaded the game yesterday at work, and it downloaded. I went into it.
Wait,
You have to
I like
like
how you said you haven't
sign
played a
up.
mobile game in 15 years. I'm just thinking of cell phones 15 years ago. No wonder.
I
you
mean,
hate mobile
what?
games.
Well, I mean, when did the original iPhone come out? 2008.
11, yeah, 9 something. Yeah,
Was it
circa
that
then.
late? 9, 8, 9?
I'm figuring it out. 2007, June 29th.
Ooh.
Coming up on
So
the
what? So 15 years would be what? 2010.
Yeah.
So that's actually probably accurate. Yeah, the last time I played a mobile game was on the iPhone 3G. So whenever that came out, that was the next one. So it was probably around that time, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be my guess, but yeah, I mean
They've
that was
gotten better.
accurate. Yeah, that's what I see. But yeah, I downloaded it. So I download the game, right? Go in, you have to like sign up for their little account thing to log in, and then log in, and then I had to download the game. And I'm like, what the? I thought I already downloaded the game. So then that took like an hour, and by the time the hour download was done, I had we had got a call, and I had stuff I was doing, and I never got around to playing it.
Mhm.
But I'm going to get to that eventually if I can pull myself away from Shadows long enough. But yeah, I want to talk about a couple games that got announced that I'm pretty excited for. And the first one I kind of hinted at earlier with my little Mike and I must play this game is Final Fantasy Tactics is getting a remake. And
straight up just looks like Triangle Strategy. Like,
dude,
I'm
it's
so
yeah, I mean,
excited.
yeah, dude. That's what I mean. Triangle Strategy, and I think even when we played it and we did our episode on it, I
Mhm.
think I kept talking about how Final Fantasy Tactics it felt.
Mhm.
But now you're going to be able to experience the whole thing. I think that it sounds like the whole thing's going to be fully voiced now, voice
Nice.
acting for everything, which is awesome. But you're going to be able to see. I don't want to say that this is the first tactics game because I don't think that it is. I'm sure there was something out that came out before it, but this is like maybe the first one that kind of gained traction in the West, as far as being from a mainline, being from Final Fantasy, which was at the time gaining traction in the West with Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, we have to play this game, and the game is based off of loosely, obviously, very loosely based off the War of the Roses, which is a real event in history, which is also an inspiration for Game of Thrones. So there's a little snippet.
Nice.
But yeah, we have to play this game.
Yeah,
100%. It has to happen.
I'm very much looking forward to that because every single time Triangle Strategy goes on sale, I'm like, do I buy it and play it for the third time?
Yeah. Dude, I was playing, what was I playing? Oh, I was playing Persona 3 Reload New Game Plus. And you know how Triangle Strategy, when you play New Game Plus, it gives you the dialogue options? Like it tells you what dialogue option is best to choose at what moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was so mad that Persona games don't have that, dude, because it would make 100% of the game on a second playthrough so much easier.
Yeah.
But the other game is a game that you kind of mentioned also, which is the Game of Thrones War of Westeros. This really is not my kind of jam. This is more Nick's kind of jam, I think. It's a real-time strategy Game of Thrones game, and he's the RTS guy in the
is.
in the group.
I wonder
So-
if it's on the Steam yet. What's it called?
Game of Thrones War of Westeros. I don't know when
Oh.
it's coming out.
There it is. Add to watch list.
September, maybe. I don't know if
Oh,
it even
yeah.
has a release date.
Oh yeah, we got dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Individual. Yeah. This looks
yeah.
cool.
That's his. Yeah, that's his jam.
2026.
2026. Oh, geez. Okay.
Single player online co-op strategy RTS 3D.
Yeah.
It's got very I guess realistic like graphics, right?
Yeah.
So not looking too cartoony. So kind of
Yep.
like, but it definitely looks like actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like Battle for Middle Earth. That's
Oh,
exactly
dude,
what it looks
Battle
like.
for Middle Earth 2. Every like maybe 2 years, I'm like, man, I really want to play Battle for Middle Earth 2.
They need to remaster it. That's the
They
issue with that
do.
game.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I don't think it functions on modern computers.
Yeah.
In 2015 was the last time I could get a computer to run it, and it was fine. It wasn't great, but then
that
my
game
next
was cool.
computer was just like, yeah, no, Windows.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just stopped after a certain Windows version. They might have. There's probably a fix for it now, but yeah, they need to make a third or remake that one. I don't know.
Oh,
There's
there
these-
was an
It's just like there needs to be. I don't know. It's like there's this part of gaming where I don't know if you could just be a studio and your whole pocket was making open world RPGs with a canned template and just slap an IP on it and make it great, right? You
Yep.
know, everyone will eat that up. It's like people try to do these things, but like they don't do it right.
Yeah.
And like an RTS game on everything, you know, like there's just like the
I
quintessential.
still want
like,
to play Dune Spice Wars.
oh, that's a good one.
And then there's
It's not
another
bad.
one I have in my library that I haven't opened yet is Starship Troopers like Terran Command or
Mm.
something, which looks really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. The RTS lane for like these properties or IPs usually are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know if like Microsoft has to make them all or like just reskin Age of Empire. I don't know what needs to
Yeah.
happen to make it a thing, but it's like you don't put too much effort behind it. People just
I mean, dude,
everyone wants an RTS skinned in
Yeah.
XP IP.
Yep.
That's why I'm really interested in what they do with apparently this Total War Star Wars game they're making.
Yeah.
Total Star Wars.
Yeah, Total Star Wars War. Total War Star Wars.
This
That
might,
sounds sweet.
to be honest, this Game of Thrones game might be because now that I'm thinking about it, dude, it could be really sweet, especially if you get to pick out like, all right, I'm going to play as the Lannisters for this playthrough and try to,
That
I
would be-
mean, it could
100%.
be, and I think that I believe that you can play as the Night King as well in the kind of dead army too. So that would be awesome.
That's the
So
great
this-
thing about RTS games is like typically you're not locked out of playing as the bad guys. Like
Right.
if it's a playable faction on the map, there's no reason they would be like, oh, you can't actually play as that. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
RTS
we only
games
made
don't do
all
that.
the assets, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're not going to let you use them.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this might be the game. This could be the game that gets me back into RTS games. I haven't played them. The problem with that is they're almost it's almost demanding that you play them on a PC, right? Like they just function better on a
think just
PC. At
for,
least
like,
everyone that I've
Ease
played.
of control.
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
And I
I can
don't
imagine
really
trying to operate like an RTS with a controller.
with a
That
controller.
just-
Yeah, it's just not. It's not the vibe.
yeah, well, I mean, they do it though, like because like Age
Well-
of Mythology Retold is cross-platform, and I mean that
You
thing
got-
is really nice too.
Your PlayStations have USB ports, no? Didn't you just slap a mouse on there? keyboard and mouse?
That's a good question. You might be able to. Yeah, I didn't really think about
Bluetooth
that.
or something?
I think you
Um,
can actually, because I think Brady wanted to get that for something and he was looking at it. He wanted to play with mouse and keyboard on like Fortnite or something.
Age of Mythology just had a major update yesterday.
Nice. Nick, there was another game that was announced at Game Fest. Chronicles Medieval. This on Steam is listed as action strategy sandbox RPG. All that was announced or shown really was kind of like a cinematic trailer. But Tom Hardy is voicing somebody. He voiced the like voiceover of the trailer. Yeah, looks pretty crazy. I mean, it's medieval times. You got some armored warfare, some horseback warfare, spears and things of that nature. I wish that more would have been revealed because it's hard to really go. If we learned anything from the first Dead Island, it's that you can't judge a game by its trailer, no matter how sweet the trailer was. Because I only watched that trailer like 700 times and like was so hyped for that game, and then it just kicked me in the shins. But Chronicles Medieval looks like a game to throw on a watch list or your wish list. I've never played any of the Mafia games, but what they revealed for Mafia: The Old Country,
dude,
was
can't wait,
insane.
Yeah,
like holy crap, that looks crazy.
That's my vibe, man. I'm Italian. I love the mob stuff. So,
have you played the other Mafia games?
I have.
What, 3?
Yeah, there's 3. So the original Mafia on the PC is probably still to this day one of the most difficult games I've ever played. And it was really just not because it was built to be difficult. It was just clunky and hard, but great story. The remake is phenomenal. So if you want to play through the story, it's a very short game. They're open world games, but not really. It's more of like what they're doing with this game, where it's like just it's an open world, but you're not going to get shit to do in it. It's just for you to exist in. Right. But yeah, it's a great, the original is great. The remake they did a great job with the remake. 2, I just played through maybe at the end of last year. Again, they remastered it. Still a great game. They could have done way more with the remaster on it. I hope they remake it because it definitely needs it. But 3 is just absolutely god awful. It's just one of the most brutally boring games I've ever played in my life.
Oh dang. That's crazy.
It made you almost turn to the Melfi's, where you don't like the mob as an Italian. You're like, oh, they ruin our culture.
No, it's so what it is you play as a guy that's going and fighting the mafia in this one versus the first 2 games where you're part of the mafia.
Interesting.
So your mafia kind of kills your family in 3, and you set out on this tale of revenge to dismantle the mafia in I think it's like a fake New Orleans, like New Bordeaux, I think is the name of it. It's based off New Orleans. The location's sweet, the gameplay is better, but the story, I just wasn't vibing with it. And clearly nobody else was either. And they decided, hey, if we're going to name our game Mafia, maybe it should be about people in the mafia, not people killing everybody in the mafia. So that's what they did with old.
Can't steal cars.
Yeah, but you play as the cop.
Yeah,
but that we want that.
We do want that.
But you would probably not call it Grand Theft Auto, though.
Probably not.
Yeah.
You would call it LA Noire. That's what you would call it.
Or you would call it whatever the code for GTA is over the scanner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that would be sweet. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You should give that to Rockstar.
You know how I
and then 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly. You know how I collect all the free games across the various platforms on PC. I have the definitive edition of all 3 Mafia games thanks to that. So they're on my list of maybe one day.
You should play the first one for sure, especially if it's Mafia Definitive Edition, which I think you said it was, right? Yeah. So that's the remake of the original. It's great. Nice. It's a good game, dude. It's short. It's not super long. You can make it as long as you want because there's collectibles and stuff, but it's a quick story, good story. But yeah, so Mafia Old Country, one of my favorite movies of all time is Godfather 2, where they kind of go back to to Italy and that. So that's the vibe that I'm getting from it. And they're like riding horses and stuff. It looks sweet. I can't wait. And I know that it sounds like they're kind of going back to their roots where, so Mafia 1, like I said, is that open world where it is an open world. You can kind of free roam in it.
1900 Sicily.
Yeah, 1900 Sicily. So the original, you can kind of free roam in the city. There's really not too much to do. Mafia 2, there's maybe a little bit more to do in the city. And then Mafia 3 is like your Grand Theft Auto open world. There's a ton of stuff to do in the city. And nobody seemed to like Mafia 3. So I think they're going back to their roots with kind of giving you this open world to play in. There's not going to be a lot to do, but it's really a linear story through this open world. It sounds weird to say out loud, but I can't wait.
Maybe hot take, but I think we need more linear games.
I agree with you. I think the open world thing has become like kind of overplayed.
Yeah, just like make cool zones to be in, but like give me something on the rails, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the happy medium for me is like Uncharted 4, where you had those like it is a linear game, but you have like some big locations in there.
Yeah.
I think the happy medium for me right now is Survivor. Like the way they
or Survivor,
that's been great.
It's open world, but so much of the world is linear, like dungeon crawling and like platforming. Like it isn't like there's like 3 ways to platform something. It's like there's one way. Get good.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I haven't finished watching all of the Jeff Keighley Summer Game Fest video. I watched like a Future Game Show. I did notice Scott Pilgrim has a new beat 'em up coming out, which looks cool, but from what I've seen, like it looks like it's slow. Like the combat and movement looks like slow, and that does not look intriguing to me. The first Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up that came out, I don't know, however many years ago, that was amazing. I love that game. I'll keep my eye on EX, but I did have our good friend ChatGPT pull up a list of everything that was announced, but like I said, I didn't watch the full thing. So those are the things that stood out to me. Was there anything else that stood out to you, Chad?
Yeah, there's a couple. So the one that I want to bring up is the new Resident Evil, Resident Evil Requiem, which is the 9th entry in Resident Evil. There were rumors that this game was going to have Leon and Claire back in it as like main characters. It does not appear to be the case in the trailers. You're playing as Grace Ashcroft, which is, I know that name from the series, and I can't think if that's like the little girl in 2, and her dad's like the doctor. I can't remember. That name sounds familiar. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something, but it looks like they're kind of I'm excited, dude, because they showed off RPD, Raccoon Police Department, in the trailer. Like they're going back to Raccoon City after it was decimated by the bombs during the initial outbreak in Resident Evil. So I'm super excited. I'll probably pick that up. I did not vibe with 8 at all. I didn't play 8. 7 still remains as like the one game that I beat in a single sitting just because it was so terrifying. I just wanted to get it over with. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Another one is we got a new trailer for Onimusha Way of the Sword, which I am really excited for. Finally a new entry in Onimusha, and you're playing as Musashi, who is the book that I'm reading right now. So super exciting. And there's a really good anime on Netflix that they did on Onimusha. So if you should definitely check it out if you like anime or samurai stuff, because it's pretty good. And then the 2 remaining, I'm very, very, very excited for. One is called Stranger Than Heaven, and this is the new game from the studio that made the Like a Dragon and Judgment series, the Yakuza games. And it just sounds sweet, dude. They're doing like a tale over multiple time periods. So there's a time period in 1915, 1929, and 1943. And I don't know about you, but 1943 Japan sounds like you could tell some pretty sweet stories in that 2 years before everything pops off, right? So it looks really sweet. The first it kind of threw me through a loop because the first trailer they showed for it, it was called Project Century, and they showed the 1915 stuff. And then in this one, they're showing the 1943 stuff. And I was like, what happened to this game? Like, this was like a early 1900s game, and now all of a sudden we're in the 40s, but they're telling over multiple time frames, which is what's going on. But it's kind of got like a very film noir vibe to it. Yeah, I'm excited. It looks really, really good. I will definitely, that will be a day one pickup for me, because I love anything that studio puts out. And then finally, after months of speculation and rumors and people talking on the internet and Reddit posts in the wee hours of the night, we have finally got confirmation that Persona 4 is getting a remake in the style of Persona 3. And nothing makes me, I damn near shit my pants when I saw that trailer, because the rumors were there, but sometimes rumors are just rumors, right?
Yeah.
So it was at the Xbox showcase that this got showed off, and just the music, dude, when the music kicks up, it's like that game, even though I love Persona 5, I love Persona 3, Persona 4 was my first Persona game. So I have like a deep emotional nostalgic attachment to that game and the music and everything. So I can't wait. I know they're going to do a great job because they did it with 3. But dude, the trailer's like 30 seconds long and they show like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay. So it looks like it's in really early development. So I don't, 2026 would be hopeful thinking probably for that. But yeah, that's all I have as far as anything that stood out to me that I'm excited for.
Yeah, I got to finish watching the showcases. Work has just been like so crazy the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like being able to divert attention away and actually like focus on what is being said, let alone shown, has been like impossible. But yeah, so I only have a few more things of note. I think I forget where, but brought up Rise Son of Rome somewhere on an episode.
I actually just looked at that game. I think it was on sale or something. I don't know where I saw it at.
It's good. It is, and it's great on the Steam Deck. Perfect Steam Deck game. Talk about on the rails. That is a perfect on the rails, like awesome game.
Just a good time.
Loved it. But I have beaten I beat one. The other one's in early access, so technically not beaten, but I've done, they just released an updates, semi recently, so they added some more stuff. But the first game that I did beat, roguelite, they're both roguelites, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. That game is super fun if you're into roguelike, like Hades. It's basically a Ninja Turtles Hades. You can play as all 4 turtles. Obviously, they had a DLC where you could play as Casey Jones, which was really cool. Ended up beating that co-op with Venom from our Discord. That was very fun. I would like to revisit that. Difficulty was, I don't know, it was comparable to Hades. So Nick, I don't know if you like Ninja Turtles. I know you liked Hades. You might like this game if you can get it for a decent price. I played it almost exclusively on Steam Deck. It was great. The other one that's in early access is called Rotwood, and this is a game from Clay Entertainment, who made Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included.
Last year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I got this. Dad also has it. We've played it co-op a couple times. I don't recall how many players you can have playing at once in co-op, but it is co-op, which is always fun for these type games. This is a little different than Hades and Splintered Fate, where the floor is more of like a stage and less of like a thing you're progressing through, if that makes sense. The art style is amazing. It's your classic Clay Entertainment art style, the hand drawn, like Tim Burton-esque style. It's gorgeous to look at, and honestly,
Might as well
plays
Scott
really.
Pilgrim.
Oh, really? Yeah. For being early access, I think like gameplay wise, mechanics, it's tight, solid. They're just slowly adding content over time. I'm enjoying it. This one, difficulty wise, is I'd say a little on the easier side, but much like Hades and Splintered Fate, after you clear like a stage or whatever, a zone, you can add modifiers and raise the difficulty and up your rewards and stuff. But there's like equipment upgrades, the way they handle the shop and unlocking new equipment. The only way you can unlock new equipment is by buying it in one of your runs and using the currency that you gain during your run. So I think that's kind of, well, no, this takes a global currency, but yeah, it's been super fun and really fun to play with somebody else. So Dad and I would really like to play with either of you guys or both of you if we can do 4 players. I really got to look and see how many people can play at once.
Yeah.
But Rotwood's been great. It's been awesome on the Steam Deck too.
Not to stop your flow, did you play Trek to Yomi on the Steam Deck?
Yes, but I had to like get used to it on PC because unlike other games that say this, the thing that makes it not verified is the text is small and hard to read. When they say that, it is like microscopic, like literally impossible to read on the Steam Deck. So to like get the little tutorials to learn the game, like I played it on PC, but then once I got all that stuff down, like the subtitles and stuff were readable, but some of the in-game like menus and stuff like that, it was, I mean,
I own it. Yeah, I own it on PS5. I was just thinking that it would probably be like the perfect Steam Deck game.
Yeah, no, once I got used to it, it plays great on the Steam Deck. It's just that they were nailed that one right on the nose. Very difficult to read. But yeah, so the only other game I want to talk about tonight is my first Telltale game that I've ever played to completion, and it was The Expanse.
Oh,
and I know that we're all big fans of The Expanse, and this game was so sweet, and it made me want to like fire up The Expanse again.
Yeah.
And I guess that's another thing. I don't know if it was announced at Game Fest, but
that's what I was just looking up because I'm pretty sure they announced something.
Yes, The Expanse. Yes. Oh my gosh. I picked up the Expanse Telltale game during whatever the fall or winter sale was, or maybe spring sale. I don't remember. But yeah, if you can get this on sale, like, bro, it's so good. You play as drummer Nick, your favorite character.
Really?
And it's a great
Wait,
one.
So a Telltale series versus what's a Telltale series? Archangel. Okay, that might be something else.
So I think when they originally released the Telltale games, they come out in like episodes.
Yeah.
But all the episodes like are out for The Expanse. So if you buy it on Steam, it comes with, all the
I don't know how you guys feel about The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead one is phenomenal.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like the first. I don't want to say it's their first game, but it's their first style game like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. Yeah.
Dude, this Osiris Reborn thing
looks sick. I'm
really
watching
cool.
the trailer.
Third person action RPG. You're no hero, just a merc caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
Together to keep the ship up and running.
In the trailer, they're like floating through the halls of the ship, and then they touch down, and the magnet boots turn on. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know what is with those magnet boots, bro. Gets me.
There's a lot of good space games. Naughty Dog's working on a space game currently.
Yeah.
There was one that has Matthew McConaughey in it, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
trailer. Yeah, what was the
I
name
know
of
what
it?
you're
Because
talking about.
it
I'll
was
look it
a
up.
secret level. Remember, they made a secret level episode based off of it.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Where the guy's like chasing after his daughter through space and
through
time
space
and
and
all
dealing
that.
with the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that has me really excited because it's very grounded in reality as far as like how space travel would be time wise. So I'm very excited for that. But I
That
don't even
game
know if that
is
has a release date.
the game's called Exodus.
Exodus, yes, that's it. Is there a release date? Let's look.
Not that
I don't think
not
that
that's
there is.
popping up on an initial, search result page here.
Expected in 2026. Former BioWare veterans. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Nick, dude, I feel like you'd love the Expanse Telltale game. Playing as one of your favorite characters, bro.
Yeah, I just put it on the watch list. So and that's I'm for PC games. I'm really in like a watch list. Just like I'm just hunting for like when things come on sale. So like I sniped Pharaoh or Total War Pharaoh, even though it's got like mostly positive but mixed reviews. I still want to try it just because
Oh
of
my
the
gosh.
period piece for it.
Yeah.
So I'll pick but I've been
Dude.
tinkering with 2 games throughout the year because they're doing lots of updates to them, and I just like games they make a lot of updates to. And one is Manor Lords, which is like a really nice game. I think I talked about that when I started it. And the other one's Ara History Untold, and that's a Microsoft game that's basically a Civilization competitor, and they just made a big update to it. And I basically just like pop those on every time they make an update to see what changes. So like those 2 games are trending in good directions. So that I'm just really kind of in like creep mode right now for PC games. I really am trying not to play Dune Awakening. I don't know if I want to wait for the PS5 release next year or if I want to crack that open on the PC. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just threw the link to the Expanse on CD keys in Discord for you guys. $450 right now.
Dang.
For Telltale?
$450 for
And
you gotta make sure you're into this style of game though first, because they're very different than anything that because it's almost like at least The Walking Dead. I don't know how the Expanse. I haven't played the Expanse one, but I assume they're almost like visual novels, basically.
Yeah,
like you're picking choices.
Yeah, you walk around, you find some stuff, but everything of consequence that you do is like presented a scenario. You're given 4 options to choose one.
Become human. Detroit Become Human vibes.
Yeah. It's exactly like that. Yeah.
But I mean, you said the only issue with the Steam Deck is the text is really small.
No, this is great on Steam Deck.
Oh,
Trek to Yomi is the one where the text is like super small.
I mean, if it's great on Steam Deck, I mean that's exactly what I would probably want to lay in bed and just like walk through.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed my time on the Steam Deck with this. And hey, for $4.50, come on.
Can't dude, I can't. Nick, we might have to play the same game at the same time at some point in our lives and get this Game of Thrones game, because the trailer is sick, bro. Like they show Jon Snow fighting the Night King in like the opening minutes of the trailer.
You'd play an RTS with me?
I would play this RTS with you, yeah.
Do you have a computer though?
I just like keep thinking. So the boys have gaming laptops. I'm sure it'll run fine on a gaming laptop. It doesn't look like a very but just the fact that like they get it, dude. Like they show Jon Snow fighting the Night King. Everybody's complaint with the show they get.
That's what I mean. Like RTSs are not hard. That's why there's no excuse to have an RTS in like every IP that mildly makes sense for it. Because
and this one begs for it.
Oh yeah,
begs for it. Like if you can pick the different armies and take over the different dude, yeah, I could vibe with this game. I'm already vibing with this game. It's not even out yet.
Dude, yeah. And I mean that's why Battle for Middle Earth was so awesome. It's like, do you want Gandalf and a bunch of dwarves to clash with some elves or just anything you can imagine, some orcs? Like
Man,
You can't go wrong.
that was a great game.
Not go wrong. Yeah, I definitely
Um,
would play as Lannisters like right off the jump.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Jamie and the Lannisters, man. I might have to second guess if the Night King is available right up front. That might be like you beat the game and you unlock the Night King and his army, but
Then again, I could probably do like you'd have to unsullied. Those would be cool if like anyone could just
Yeah.
buy them.
yeah. But dude, it shows like the dragons ripping through the battles and stuff. Like, oh, it could
Yeah.
be really sick.
Some
The trailer is pretty
wolves
rad.
running around.
Yeah, you got to go watch
How do
the
you
trailer.
bounce the
Nick.
dragons, man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably like they're
Unless-
like on a
oh,
cooldown.
The hero or general power or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like god powers and stuff. That's what Middle Earth did really well. It's because they put so many like cool things as just like temporary like
hmm
powers. That's what Mage Mythology does.
And it looks like it might only be coming to Steam.
Yeah,
Just
no,
according to the trailer.
yeah, they at least initially they won't release that to a console. It'd have to be so refined. Microsoft is really the only one that does it to like Microsoft's the only one that's been doing it for a long time to the Xbox. And then like Civilization, they've been over the years getting better at making them console friendly, and now 6 was the first one that became like fully console friendly. And now 7 is
Yeah.
designed from the beginning to be console friendly. So Microsoft is the only one that really kind of does that. So unless it's a Microsoft one, I doubt they're going to do that in the first like couple of years.
So I was trying to I'm pretty sure the last RTS game that I played was like Age of Empires 2, which came out in the 90s,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
So
2 is like 1999.
yeah.
Nick, do you have any other gaming thing to talk about? Because if not, I want to end the episode with something. So the floor is yours if you have another gaming thing. If not,
I've just been seeing really cool stuff about Dune. People are building
Oh,
really cool
yeah.
bases already, and the fact that I keep seeing these ones that just like look like Kaladin, like where the Atreides are from, like Atreides like castle
yeah.
on like cliffs and stuff. It's just it
Dude,
looks
and-
cool.
Oh my gosh! And you can blueprint them and sell them.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
like Nick is gonna
that's
run
cool.
the
Yeah.
black market just of blueprints.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It would be sick. Yeah, I'm starting to see like the
And then-
bases come out, and now I'm like,
Then you would have to put me on your payroll because you're not building without materials, and we know how you feel.
There's
about
no
farming
there's no
materials.
trees there's no trees to chop down, Mike. What are you going to do?
that's. I mean, I don't.
True, I
but
guess
that's the
just-
thing is.
Scoop up cups of
What I've
sand for Nick.
Cups of, yeah.
Making bricks, just making bricks out of
Yeah.
sand. That's what I've seen though. Like the way I've heard the devs talk about the flow of the game just sounds so intriguing though, because it's server based, but it's all one big world. So like you phase through servers as you move through the world. It's weird the way they like blend it all together, but like it's just they made it like obviously the book and the movie where like you see the spice plumes when they're like out there farming, so like it attracts people to go do things in the same areas and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
So,
then big old
I don't know.
wormies come.
Yeah, it seems very intriguing. I don't know if I can wait for a sale. We'll see. But I also have like a ton of games I need to play as it is.
Yeah, I feel like that would get like Valheim levels of time sync.
Valheim. Yep.
Yeah. I should
That's what I was just
finish
gonna say,
reading
yeah.
the Dune books before I play the game. Maybe that's what I need to do.
You should.
That'll
you
at
should
least
read
temper
them
you
while
off.
you're playing. Yeah. You should. read them
while
you're
while
playing.
Mike is farming all of your materials.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the base, but I'm like sitting here reading the book. I'm like take a 10-minute
man.
break to build, and then I'm like, Mike, I'm out of resources. And
Yeah.
then I'm like
Yeah.
back reading.
Immersion.
Yeah, yeah,
Immersed.
exactly. Hey, if the pay's good, I'll do it. But yeah, so I wanted to end the episode. First off, it's great to finally talk about games. But we're gonna bring it back to movies because I remember Chad last time. One of the last times we had spoken, you wanted to talk about Warfare.
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
watch it? You watched it? Nick, have you watched it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, Chad, you
Momsies.
have.
Yeah. So I've watched it actually several times since our last talk about it. I'd be hard fought to not put this at my top war movie of all time, dude. And
Dang.
it's not because
Dang.
it's got a stellar story. It's not because it has stellar characters. It's just the most immersive war movie you'll ever. I mean, you feel like you're standing in that freaking room with them the entire time, dude. Like you feel
Yeah.
like you want to jump through the screen and help them when things pop off. You know,
Yeah.
it is. I would have loved to seen this in the theater because I'm sure
Dude,
you saw it in the
it
theater,
was-
right?
Oh yeah, it was chaos.
Oh, dude.
Not
I'm
like
so jealous that
the theater, but like the movie in the theater was just
movie.
like,
Yeah.
you might as well just been sitting in that room with them. You might as well
Yeah,
been like a
dude.
member of that family that lived in the house.
Yeah.
Um,
I just think this is like if I was to pick out a movie or game or anything that was like this is why sound design is so important, that would be the movie, dude, because the sound design in that movie is freaking phenomenal through and
Yeah.
through from beginning to end.
Nick, if you watch this at home, like wear these.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
yeah, good
It will
100%.
be like
or full
insane.
blast it. Yeah.
I mean, I
Um,
got the rear speakers now, so like that's been like a huge improvement in my like just general viewing. But I
Yeah.
do forget I can wear my crushers.
oh
So
yeah, dude.
I mean,
The
it's not for
cru-
us streaming yet, right? I'd have to rent it.
Not yet. No.
I don't know.
I wonder where it'll stream
Yeah,
to. Who is it?
It's
I
an
think it's
A24,
Max.
so probably HBO.
A24 would be.
Yeah.
They're making another movie. They make a lot of movies these days.
Yeah,
that
they've got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
I saw a recent movie announced by them that seemed intriguing to me, but I don't recall.
So I wish that they would take this director, that studio, the whole team, and tell. There are several like really famous events that happened in Afghanistan with the SEALs. If they made a movie off, and they're not like big news, lone survivor style, made
Yeah.
the headline stories. They're just good stories that should be
Yeah.
told in this way.
So Alex Garland is the director of Warfare. He was also the director of Civil War and like Ex Machina. He will be directing the Elden Ring movie that A24 is making.
Interesting. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, Max. It'll
But
be
yeah,
Max.
what makes Warfare so good is like a dude from the SEAL team like wrote the movie.
Yeah.
And was like right there alongside Garland during the making of this. So it's like tactical realism, like 100%. And
Yeah.
the best way I can describe this movie to anyone is just like this movie, having not obviously been in warfare at all my entire life, but this is exactly how I imagine it would be. This movie displays the actual chaos of combat like perfectly. It is just like chaos is the best word to describe this. Like, yeah, everything that happens in this movie is just absolute pure chaos, and the whole time,
Yeah.
I'm just like on the edge of my seat, sweating. Like, also, my ears are exploding because of all the sounds that are happening.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, I cannot like thank the people that do this enough so that like we don't have to do this or experience this. Like,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
crap. And just like the stuff that any combat veteran has to go through or live with after the fact is just like so traumatizing. And like it just like really helps you empathize with veterans even more so, because you're like, bro, I don't know how you can survive in normal life after anything remotely close to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I think what makes it so I have like I don't want to call it a sick obsession with the Navy SEALs, but I listen to a lot of these guys. And a lot of them talk about the TBI stuff that they show in this movie and they don't show in any other movie. Nobody really thinks of the explosions that they're dealing with that are scrambling their heads up, you know? And
Mhm.
you can tell that a SEAL did this story because there's no most war movies you get like I don't know how to. There's a lot of theatrics to it. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
always the
it's
hero
like
that runs
a
out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know it's very over the top.
Cinematic,
There's nothing.
like
It's cinematic.
theatrical
Yeah, yeah.
superhero. Yeah.
Right, right. Same, and you get that in a lot of war movies. Not here, dude.
There's
Not here
nothing
at all.
glorious about what
Nothing
happens in
glorious
this
about it.
movie at
Yeah,
all. It's
and
literally a tale of survival.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's cool because the event, this is a real event that took place. It was just literally a gunfight. That's it. It wasn't this big extravagant like operation that they were doing.
Didn't
They
win
just
the
got
war,
ambushed
didn't
and
lose the war.
no. Yeah.
Just
And just
another
the way
day
that
in
it's so good, dude. It's just so good.
Yeah.
You really have to watch it, Nick, so we can have
Yeah,
like a full on breakdown of it.
Yeah. It's so great too, because now that you mention that, like obviously I know I've seen it, but like now thinking about that, it's just like nothing anyone on the team did was like necessarily heroic or glorious. Like
It was like
they're literally stuck
true
in this
heroic.
house the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they get
It's like
rescued.
it's like true heroics, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how it actually is in real life, not
Yeah.
you know, Saving Private Ryan or whatever war movie you want to slap on there.
It's
where
not
they
like
really
the commander of the
Hollywood it.
squad running out in the middle of the road and like
Yep.
taking out 50 dudes with his pistol
Yeah.
that doesn't even have that much like ammunition in the magazine to be able to do.
Yep.
But the best part for me, I don't know about you, but like, bro, the show of force flybys.
Oh, dude, so cool. Yeah.
Dude, it's
Love
like
it.
the
It's so
coolest
cool
thing
every
ever.
time. Yeah. So cool.
Also,
yeah,
just
dude, it's just
terrifyingly
the
loud in the theater, by the way. That was
Oh yeah,
insane.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, that's good. Dude, I'm so jealous that you saw it in the theater. I wish I saw it. So I saw it the first time at work. We have surround sound. So I was lucky that
Oh, nice.
I had surround sound. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's funny because if you pull it apart, like there's really virtually like no story. There's no like character building. There's none of that, dude. It is just you're in that room with them for the hour and 20 minutes where all this stuff's
Yeah.
popping off. And then the way the movie ends, where they get in the, you know, it just ends. You know, there's nothing more. It just ends. It's so good, dude. I hope that they continue. I hope this becomes like an anthology series of
that would be
war
cool.
tales that people can tell through this kind of medium, because there's a lot of good ones out there that I've heard that would be ripe for this kind of movie.
Yeah. I think Garland, he's great. He's a great director. I pretty much like most everything he does. I also like the fact that A24, while they're known for like mostly like their horror films and movies that just like take crazy like 90-degree left turns out of the middle of nowhere and get like super weird and artsy, which I like, but it's nice to see that they have other films and projects up their sleeve that are like not
grounded
like
and yeah,
because I do love that about A24. That's why I love them so much. But it's nice for people who don't like the more like indie art house like style way of telling a story through a movie to get something like a Civil War, or you know, even if you don't like the story, but like that style of storytelling, or Warfare or something like that, where it's like a straightforward story, straightforward movie, but done in a like a really well like perfectly framed, like awesome.
But that's,
Yeah.
but that's
Lee
very
designed
A24-ish, though. I feel like that's still on brand because, like, it's not
Yeah,
your
it is.
typical
Yeah.
flashy war movie either.
But like even in Civil War and Warfare, I'm just like, okay, so like where's the like really weird thing gonna
Oh,
Yeah.
pop
Where's it
into?
gonna come? Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. There's some. I mean, Civil War had to me some like
Civil War had it,
things.
some of its moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
The whole body pit like sequence.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's pretty.
Yeah.
what kind of American are you? But yeah, so yeah, I'm glad that we finally got to discuss that a little bit. Nick, you got to watch that as soon as it becomes
Yeah.
available.
It'll be on Max.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming soon, actually.
I would imagine. Yeah,
Max.
it came out a while
Yeah.
ago.
I don't know if there's a
So,
release
yeah.
date on it, but
Make sure you guys follow us here on YouTube. Follow us on the audio platforms if that's your jam. And we'll have the Showboys Summer of Gaming in some fashion. We'll be a lot more focused on gaming content this summer, as we've been super focused on shows and stuff. Yeah, excited about that. And make sure you check out Pokeboys. We were about to wrap up season 7 and have some cool plans for mate cooking. And join the Discord. Check out patreon.com/showboyspodcast. And until next time, we will see you. Have a great time playing games and watching stuff, and then tell us about it. I don't know how to end these things anymore.